Hello there, my name is Gareth JQ. I just want to show you how easy it is to track your results and the importance of doing so. Now, you've probably heard the well-used saying, the money is in the list. That's because the saying is completely true. Literally, the bigger your list is, the more money you're going to make. But not all traffic is created equal. You want the best traffic money can buy. But how do you know what traffic you're getting if you don't track your results? If you're not tracking, then you're not testing. Because how can you test if you're not tracking? Contrary to popular belief, the top internet marketing gurus don't get it right first time all of the time. They test. But to test, you have to know your numbers. Which headline converts best? Even which colour attracts the most opt-ins? Which squeeze page works for your particular product and niche? What sales page works best? What price point? You need to test everything. And if you spend money on advertising, then you have to get the best possible return on investment. Whether you're using Twitter or Facebook, and if you're using their analytics, they're just not accurate enough, I'm afraid. Relying on your solo ad provider is just not good enough. You need to start treating your internet marketing business as a real business, and to do that you have to know your numbers so you can clearly see how you can improve, who's giving you the best traffic and what copy converts the best. So if you're fed up with being ripped off by solo ad providers, being sent to proxies and whatever else rather than real actual clicks, then you need to listen up. I have up until recently been using a free plugin, free WordPress plugin to track my results. It just doesn't give me the level of information that I need to take my business to the next step. So I recently bought a WordPress plugin called wptrafficfilter.com. Now, I'm going to do something I've never done before. This is the first time I've ever used it, and I'm recording it to show you, hopefully, how easy it is to use. So, bear with me, and if I do obviously make mistakes live, then that's to be expected. Now, I'm going to assume that you know how to use WordPress and how you install WordPress onto your domain name and onto your hosting site. So, all I'm going to do is I'm going to go straight to the plugin section. So obviously, it's a WordPress plugin, so we need to go to the plugin section, and you need to go to Add New. And then we're just simply going to upload the plugin. Now, all I've done to this point is I've bought the product, and the product has been downloaded onto my flash drive. So I'm going to choose it, and here it is already on my flash drive. And literally, it's downloaded as a zip file, and you need to upload the whole zip file. So you just double click on that zip file and install now. Not sure how long it's going to take. There we go. It's taking no time at all. You then simply activate the plugin. Now, I have gone through the training manual, which is it's about 7 or 8 pages long, to be honest, and it is quite straightforward and to the point, step by step. So, as you can see here now, what we've got is we've got a new item on our drop-down menu. So, if we go to the WP Traffic Filter, as it's called, and what we want to do is add a new campaign. You can either do that there or there by the looks of it. Okay. Now, whatever you call your campaign here, it's going to end up in your tracking link. So you don't want to be calling it any silly names, obviously. I'm just, for the purpose of this, going to call it XYZ Solar. Okay, just for the purpose of it. Now, what you'll find is this information is for you and for your own reference. This won't show anywhere. Nobody will be able to see this. So, again, if you want to call it, you can call it whatever you want to. Could be Johnny is the solar provider in this example. Provider Johnny XYZ. Okay, there. URL address if you want to put that in, obviously. So for reference, if obviously they're a good provider, you want to know exactly where you got that person from and want to go back and buy some more. Now, the only thing that the system actually does use, according to the instructions, is the actual total cost. So if you spent, for instance, if you bought 100 clicks solo for $40, you would put that amount in there. Okay, as it says, the example, blah blah blah. Okay, and then notes. As an example, a solo provider could be promising you 95% tier 1 traffic. Okay, so just to remind myself exactly what was agreed, or it could be 20% minimum over delivery. Okay, so whatever it is that has been agreed. Now, the URL that you want to send them to, obviously, so in this case I'm just going to use an example of my membership site, gaudio.com. Okay, now we come back to this. This is the next step kind of thing, and I'll explain that to you in a minute. So literally that's all you have to fill in. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're now going to publish that campaign, that tracker link. So we're going to generate that tracker link for us. So that's already been sorted. Now, obviously, this is the link that we need to use to track those results. Okay, so let's test that first. Okay, and that's directed straight to my membership site, which is the example that I used. Okay, so that works fantastic. So now, that's great. That works. What about actually looking at the parameters and analyzing the results? So you simply go to all campaigns to do that. Okay, so it's all done in a really nice sort of formatted box. Now obviously the campaign name, because you're going to have more than one campaign, who the provider was. Now raw clicks, quite an important obviously part of the analysis. The raw clicks is how many clicks you've had, basically. Okay, so it's important for you to know, but going forward then, this ignored section is quite important. So let me tell you exactly what they are. So the number of ignored clicks, so duplicate visitors, proxies, bots, etc. So there's obviously not going to be any information here at the moment, but what you'll see is each one of those will represent, so you've got raw clicks there, and then you've got ignored. So you've got unique clicks next. So let's see what this is. Like I said, I'm working out as I go along, guys. They're different symbols basically for detected invalid clicks. So that could be duplicate visitors, proxies, bots, or whatever else. So that's what those symbols will mean. Okay. Now what this does, which is really interesting, part that I really like, is that you can see how many unique clicks you've had by groups of countries. And what it does is it says, obviously, I'm the only person to have clicked on this link at the moment, so it's 100% tier 1, which is obviously fantastic. But if obviously you've got a mixture of tier 1, tier 2, and whatever else, it'll actually give you the percentage for each country. And it'll tell you. So as you can see here, as I hover over there, tier 1, 100%, tier 2, 0%, tier 3, 0%. Okay? So what's the merits of that? Obviously, tier 1 countries are the countries that obviously buy more, English-speaking countries, etc. Tier 2, I'm not saying you won't make sales from tier 2, you probably will, but they're just not as highly converting. And tier 3, obviously, are it's the sort of traffic that you want to stay away from, really. It's not worth paying the same money, definitely not for tier 3 traffic it is for tier 1. It's obviously better quality traffic for tier 1. Now this one here, what it does is it tells you whether your traffic is being sent from desktop or mobile. Now there is theory that mobile traffic does not convert as well as desktop traffic. Obviously lots of people use their mobile phones now for internet usage, but people don't tend to buy things unless you've got sort of one-click sort of buys and very quick sort of sales funnels. My sort of sales funnels are 4, 5, 6 sort of tiers long. I don't really want people looking at their mobile because they're not going to be going through that whole funnel for me. Now the subscribers and the sales and profit are fantastic. They're really, really good. But it's quite a complicated process. I have checked this out again in the instructions manual of how to actually set this up and how to work it out for yourself properly. Now, it's completely up to you whether you want to use this. My personal feeling is, and I've looked into this in a little bit of depth, I've got a little bit of preparation for you. you don't need to know the subscribers, because you're gonna know that through your autoresponder, especially when you set up a new autoresponder capture page. So you're going to have those figures, and they are going to be accurate, obviously. And if you don't know what your sales are, then you're obviously in trouble anyway, because you should know exactly how many sales each campaign is doing. But it is a fantastic usage if you don't mind a little bit of code. And it is just a little bit of code, it really is. So if you're happy with that level of tracking and analysis of each of your campaigns and traffic sources, that alone would be enough to tell you whether the campaign has worked, what sort of return on investment you've got. If you want to go to the next level, obviously carry on listening, and I'll try and take you through it. Like I said, never used it before. So this is what I prepared for you guys. Okay, so the first thing is to track subscribers. So what I'm talking about here is this box here. Okay, so to track subscribers. Now, my link that the software has generated for me is this link here. Okay. Now, what you need to do is you need to insert a tracking code into your campaign. Now, what I mean by that is, if we go back into the campaign, this bit that I didn't go through. So the authorization keys to track actions. So authorization key to track free subscriptions. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, it can be numerical and it can be characters, but there's no symbols allowed in it. Okay, so you literally just put that in and update. Okay, so that's been updated. So what happens then is this little bit of code here. Okay, so obviously that's my tracking link. You need to insert your tracking code after $subkey equals, that's my tracking code 1, 2, 3, 4. Then this doesn't change, at return URL equals HTTP. Well, sorry, yeah, this is the actual download page. So yeah, so just that part there. So if I make that bigger or bold it, this is the only part that you need. Okay, the rest, obviously, when you do your tracking code and save it, that would go in there, in between those two, no spaces. Okay, and that equals is the same. Okay, so now this is the sales page or the download page you want to take your visitors to after they've subscribed. Okay, so that would be the sales page or the download page, whatever it might be. So once they've actually gone through your opt-in page, if you're doing a redirect directly to an offer straight away, that would be that page address there. If you're just taking them to a thank you page or direct to the download page for whatever it is that you're giving away in exchange for their email address, that would be that address there. So whichever way you want to go, whatever process you want to go through. So what it would look like in the end is, it would be my tracking code that the system has generated up to here. Then it would be / I apologize, I didn't put a / in there, / subkey equals the tracking code again that I've just made up for myself, and return URL equals, and then it's HTTP : / whatever you're going to do, whether it's a sales page or whether it's going to be the download page. I normally do a offer to obviously try and recoup some of my investment in that traffic. Now this code here that we've just generated, what's going to happen is that's going to be added to your autoresponder system. I'll show you where that goes. So my autoresponder system that I use is Aweber. Now, as an example, this is a web form that I have used before. So let me show you where this will go. Okay, so you obviously do the design of the actual, so I'm just in sign up forms. You just do the design, whatever you want to do, you just choose whichever one you want to do. When you go to step 2, as you can see here, there is a custom or a basic or a stay on page option. Now obviously I've chosen custom page because I want to redirect people to another page, and in this case it looks like it's a product that I launched on the Warrior Plus. So what I would do is I would put that code that I've generated in there. Okay, and obviously I don't want to do it, but I'm just showing you for an example. Okay, so let me just reiterate on that. So this is the tracking link up to here that the system generated. Then this is the code that you would need, and it's in the instruction manual, obviously. / subkey equals. This is the code that I generated. That's the one that I made up. And then at return URL equals. Again, that's never going to change. And wherever you want the person to end up, that's that URL. So it is pretty simple. Now you can obviously open that in a new window, etc., etc. Okay. Now that is literally all you need to do for tracking subscribers. So it's not that difficult. But if you're a complete technophobe, I'd understand why that could get a little bit confusing. First time I looked at it, I went, well, do I really want to even bother with it? Because I know how to track sales and subscribers through my autoresponder and through whichever platform I'm using. But it is really worthwhile, and it's great to have it all in one place. So tracking sales is very, very similar. Okay, so again, you go back into your campaign itself, and again, you make up the code in the authorization key to track sales. So in this case, I'm just using 5, 6, 7, 8, following on from 1, 2, 3. You can use the same number if you want to. It really doesn't matter. Again, I'm just using this for an example. Okay, so that's all updated. Lovely. So what would happen then is, so tracking sales. Again, my tracking link is the same as it I used for this one up here for tracking subscribers. Okay, so that's what the system generated for me, and let me just show you that's exactly what it is. So there it is, Gareth, internetbusiness.com /WPTF/XYZ Okay, so what you need in here is the tracking code that I just generated, and I just put into the sales tracking code 5678. So it's / sales key equals the tracking code and amount, which equals, so in this case I've used the example of $37, and item equals the name of your product, whatever you're selling, and return URL equals http / your thank you or download page. And then your tracking link simply goes in front of that, very, very simply. So these are the things that don't change. The / sales key equals, you put your tracking code in. And amount equals, you put the value of your product. And item equals the name of your product, and return URL equals, and wherever it is that you want to take that person to download your product. Now what you do with this, you basically put it into whatever platform you're using, whether you're hosting it yourself and you're doing it through PayPal, or whether you're using an affiliate platform like JVZoo, Warrior Plus, ClickBank, or whatever else. And you put it in your thank you page section. So I'll show you where that goes. So if we pop over to, this is WSO Plus. So basically, this is the page that you'd use to generate your product, to upload it. And I've just come into a product that I've already done. So what you would do is you would go down to your, if I can find it, it's right at the top of the book, I thought, delivery URL. So it would go in there. So what we just generated, that little bit of code, basically it's two URLs spliced together with a little bit of instruction in the middle of it. So this is my tracking code. Okay, and then it would always be / sales key equals, that's the code that I put into the system myself, so that's my made up code, and that could be whatever you want it to be. And amount equals, so my amount for this particular product is, for instance, $37, and item equals whatever the name of the product is, and return URL equals wherever you want them to end up on. That really is pretty simple, to be honest. Like I said, when I first looked at it, it did look really complex, but it isn't. It really isn't. So when you break it down like that, hopefully that's helped you guys. So what would then happen is you will find when you go into all campaign. Now, as your campaign starts sort of gaining traction, you'll find then if you, for instance, invest $40 in a solo ad campaign, you invest $100 in a Facebook advertising campaign or several campaigns. You have lots of different campaigns going on together. You can then clearly see just by a glance how many clicks you've had, how many of them are basically rubbish, what tier they came from, whether it was desktop or mobile, how many people ended up subscribing from those, and how many sales you made, and how much profit you made. So what would happen is this $40 would start reducing as people started making purchases. So you could see exactly what your profit margin is per campaign at a glance. So you could literally then just go straight back into the provider, and it would go directly into their I didn't even know that would happen. It would go directly back into wherever you purchase, whatever your URL is that you put into that campaign. So what it does, it just brings everything together. It's really, really nice, really neat, and it just helps you keep organised and managed, and you know exactly what's going on with each campaign and each dollar that you're spending within your business, which is the right way of running your business. If you would like to get hold of your own copy of YP Traffic Filter, check it out at the bottom of this video now. There's a link on there, and there's a very special bonus as well from me for listening to me rambling on for so long. Hopefully the video's been of benefit to you guys. Not just about this particular product, but about tracking and the importance of tracking everything that you do and knowing your numbers within your business as well. The special bonus, I'm giving away Kudos List Building, which is one of my flagship products. Now in Kudos List Building, you're going to get quite a bit of information. It's all about list building, obviously. But the list building, it's not just about list building, it's about autoresponders, how to build your list. There's 10 different ways of building a list in there as well. So it's some good stuff in there. So check that out, guys. Have a look at the free bonus for just for listening and hearing me rambling on. Guys, you take it easy, and I wish you every success. Thank you very much.